All right, guys, investors are not the problem. Investors are not the reason why Vancouver housing prices are out of control. I hear this narrative all the time. Let's talk about it. I'm That Agent Kelly. I talk about real estate investing in my local market of Vancouver, British Columbia. I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So if you get any value or entertainment from these videos, all that I ask, thumbs up, subscribe. Let's get into this video. All right, so let's start off with how many investors actually own property here in Vancouver? Well, I've done a vast amount of research before making this video, and 23.5% of homes in Vancouver are owned by investors. Now that sounds like a lot of homes, but despite the fact that 23.5% of homes in Vancouver are owned by investors, there is still condos in Yaletown and Kitsilano getting 100 inquiries in a single day for rent. So that is 99 people who did not get to rent that home. And I'm not lying here. Like, I post these videos on my TikTok, I see the comments. There was a girl yesterday that had a place for rent in, I think she said the West End. And she had 125 inquiries in 24 hours for a one-bedroom apartment for rent. So that's 124 people who didn't get to rent that apartment that still need a place to rent. I know realtors who have sold investment units for their clients, and the tenants that were living in those units could not find another place to rent, and they had to go move in with family. That's how tough it is in the rental market right now. So despite the fact that 23.5% of homes are owned by investors, the rental supply within the city of Vancouver is still extremely scarce, and there needs to be more. Not only that, if you look up how many homes in the United States are owned by investors, it's 24%. Yet, probably 48 out of the, how many states are there? 50? 51? 52? I don't know. I'm Canadian. Anyways, out of 48 out of the however many states there are in the United States are still very affordable places to live, despite the fact that 24% of the housing supply is owned by investors. So, are investors the problem there? I don't think so. Let's talk about speculators. Speculating is the problem. The rampant speculating within the Vancouver market has caused all this price appreciation and has priced everybody out. So is speculation the problem? Well, again, I do agree that there has been a lot of speculation. I've seen it myself. Even, I've sold pre-sales people who are purely speculating. Even when I told them precisely not to do exactly that, they did it anyways. Is that why real estate is unaffordable here? I personally don't believe so. And the reason why is, Vancouver real estate's down, 8%, 10%. Obviously, nobody's speculating at this time. We've been in a correcting market for, 10 months now. If there were any speculators left at this point, they would have been forced to rent out their units, which would cause, if speculators were the problem, I would think that it would cause an oversupply of rental units on the rental side. If there was that much speculation happening, if the market was only going up based on speculating and investors and blah, 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 we should be seeing an oversupply of rental units on the rental side of the market, which we're not seeing. They're still extremely scarce, right? And if speculation was the problem, by now, 11 months later, you would think that there would be this massive purge of people dumping units. And maybe that's to come in the next 6, 7, 8 months. Who knows? But currently right now, I personally wouldn't say that speculators are the problem within this market. I've basically only seen it in the pre-sale side. I don't see anybody speculating on resale property. Maybe that was happening in 2021, but at this point in the market, I'm not seeing any speculation on the resale side, possibly on the pre-sale side. But I do think by now, 11 months into this, with prices going down as much as they have, that we would see a lot more rental supply if speculation was a main driving force to prices going up. The next narrative is vacant homes. All right, so 0.8% of homes are vacant in 2021. As of 2021, this is a report done by the City of Vancouver, and that accounts for 1,627 homes we know are vacant. 4,200 homes are exempt from the vacancy tax, so we don't know exactly what's going on with those homes. Are they vacation homes? What are they doing with them? We're not sure, but we know 1,600 are vacant. If we were to ban this, you are not allowed to have a vacant home whatsoever. Would this help? I don't think they're just going to release 5,800 units onto the market all at once and crash the real estate market. I think what's more likely is a bunch of owners may decide to move into these units or find another way around it. Maybe open up a corporation and say they live and work here. Or maybe a bunch of them rent out the units, and sure, that's going to add more rental supply, but when there's 100 people inquiring about one unit in Vancouver, is that really going to push down rents a significant amount? It might, maybe. Me personally, I don't think vacant homes are the reason why Vancouver real estate is so expensive. There's just not enough of them. We know 1,600 of them are vacant. We don't know what's happening with the other 4,200, but we know 1,600 are vacant. And is that the reason why Vancouver real estate is unaffordable? I just don't think there's enough homes there to say that. So what is the real problem then? Well, it is supply, right? I know there's a narrative out there saying that supply isn't the problem, the supply shortage is a myth and all this stuff. I think BMO even did one on it. But it takes 250 days to get a building permit approved in Canada, on average. And 28 days in South Korea. Now, I'm not gonna pretend to know anything about South Korea, but what I do know is the building permits, it is a ridiculous process here. And just as an example, it takes about half the amount of time to get a building permit approved to build a home in Calgary than it does in Vancouver. And you'll notice Calgary pricing is much, much cheaper than Vancouver. I know two completely different markets, but could be a reason why. With the supply and the building permits and so on and so forth, in 2021, BC's population grew by 117,000 people. There were 47,000 housing starts across all of BC in 2021. There are an average of 2.2 people occupying each home. So if we take the housing starts, which by the way, all of those homes are not going to be built in 2021, but this is all theory, right? 47,000 times 2.2 puts it at 103,000, right? So there's an extra 14,000 homes there that are not, we're short 14,000, right? But because 2.2 people live in each home, that's gonna mean it's roughly, 6,000 homes that we're short. Now, this doesn't sound like we're short many homes in 2021, but we already had a supply issue going into 2021. There's already not enough rental units. There's already not enough homes here for people to buy. And this is why prices have been going up, right? If you take 6,000, if we're short 6,000 homes every single year for the last 40 years, that's how you end up in this position in BC, right? And I think even Canada had come out and said that we need to build 1.8 million homes in the next 10 years or something like that. And I bet if you went and run this analysis for every single province, you would find that if every province is short such and such amount of homes every single year, it would probably add up to 1.8 million homes that we need to build in the next 10 years. Because if you're, 6,000 homes doesn't sound like a lot, multiply it over 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and that's how you get into this position. We have not been building enough homes, even if it's only slightly, we have not been building enough homes over the long term, and that's how we've got into this position here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.